Welcome back to another week of SportsZone. I'm your host, Brendan O'Donnell. We've got a full slate for you today. We're going to start it off with UNT softball, move into the UNT men's basketball team. What will the Mavs do with Kyrie, and will the Mavs finally win a game with Kyrie and Luka on the courts? And then we'll end it off with a little bit of a mini game, so stick around, stay for that. But starting it off with UNT softball, I've got Amanda Malini and Tyler Luker here joining me. The team started off really great this season, starting off 7-0. Having a 1-2 slip since then, so we're 8-2 right now, but we've got the makings of a really good team. Amanda, how do we put it back together?
It's going to be a bats on ball kind of situation. You really got to get those hits where it matters. When it comes down to it, you got 18 strikeouts against Kentucky, and that's something that can't happen. I understand that they're a ranked program, but you've beat Oklahoma before. So, I mean, when it comes down to it, you got to get some hits and get some runs and get some offense going.
100%. Tyler, over to you.
Well, they're finally getting some home cooking. They're back in Denton for the first time this season. And yeah, like Amanda said, the offense, 18 strikeouts and 24 plate appearances, never what you want to see. Against McNeese State, they couldn't do anything after the second inning. But that win against Tarleton State kind of put them back on track. And I think we'll see that going forward.
Well, this team has had some really great seasons in the past 4 years, a couple of regular season championships, and then finally a conference championship last year. Coach Rodney DeLong has been really great for this team. What is the expectation for this season? Tyler?
It's Conference USA Championship or bust. This team has been so good, sustained success. Now that they've hit that mark, they need to keep doing it. They were ranked at the start of the year. They're still receiving votes after those losses. But this team has incredibly high expectations, and it's for good reason.
And I got to agree with you there. It is championship, Conference USA Championship or bust. And the receiving votes is a really big. It's going to be really important to them to make sure that they keep their head up even after those tough losses because they're taking on those bigger teams. But what you want is to see them take some wins this weekend and kind of get back on that right track, like you said, because as they get more votes in polls, not that the Division I softball poll doesn't matter, but polls that are more heavily looked at, more considered when it comes down to it, just really make all the difference.
Awesome. Well, this team has a lot of returning players that were really great last season. We've got one first-team Conference USA starter and 3 Conference USA second-team starters coming back this season. So, looking at the roster, who are some of the players that you're really excited to see again this year?
I'm really excited to see Sierra Simon. She's a sophomore this year, infielder, played a lot of shortstop last season. All Conference USA freshman last year. Had a .423 average so far to start the year. She's 3 for 3 on stolen bases, as well as a .615 slugging percentage, which looks good so far, all things considered. Especially, you know, it's a very limited season. She started in all 10 games. She's one of 4 players that have started in all 10 games, so you can tell that Rodney really likes her, and that he's probably going to go with her for through the season. And as long as she keeps those numbers up, you're going to be doing just fine with her.
And you mentioned a lot of returning players. I'm going to mention a newcomer. Transfer from Liberty, junior Mackenzie Wagner. She has led this pitching staff for the Mean Green. I mean, 3rd best ERA in the country. She has the best ERA in Conference USA, leading the team in strikeouts. She has made this 2-headed monster of Ashley Peters and Skylar Savage into a 3-headed one, and she is leading the pitching attack.
I'm excited to see some of these games. We've got the all-star roster from last season mixed in with some new players as well. So I'm really excited to see what we can do. Now, this team has been good every year since Coach Rodney DeLong has got here. Now, is he the reason this team is so successful? What other factors go into why this team is good season after season?
I think it's the camaraderie of that team. They are never seen apart from each other. They all hang out together, and I get it. You spend a lot of time together, so you're not really going to have the opportunity to go spend time with other people. But that's just, you know, collegiate athletics at that. But they are really unbreakable on and off the field. And I think now that he has a program that he put together from top to bottom, it's going to be really all that much better.
Sweet. Tyler, what do you think as well?
Well, pitching is always key. In softball, to have that sustained success, you need people to be there long term. And they've had some transfers, but when you can pitch every single year, and like they have, I mean, they've ranked top 2 in the Conference USA in ERA since 2019. And that's a long period of time in college. And just to sustain that success, it's a real big credit to Rodney DeLong and the rest of the staff.
Well, UNT finally gets a home game this weekend at the North Texas Invitational, where we've got Northwestern State and Wichita State coming to visit here. Amanda, for those 2 games, what are the expectations? We have 4 games actually against these 2 teams, 2 on Saturday, 2 Sunday. How are you feeling about them?
I am feeling very confident. I think it'll be really good for this Mean Green team to open up at home. Finally, they'll take on their former catcher, Ashlyn, and she will be making her return, and I think it's going to be great for everybody involved.
Tyler, are we going 4-0 this weekend?
100%. These are 2 competitive teams that we're going to face, but North Texas, it's on top.
I'm looking forward to a 4-0 weekend this weekend. Once again, games Saturday and Sunday against Northwestern State and Wichita State. Up next, we're going to be talking about UNT men's basketball on an 8-game win streak. Stay tuned. Come back with us soon.
And now we return to Fabric of Passion.
Oh, Hector, it will be so hard for us to part, but we must.
But, my love, what did I do? I thought we were meant to be together forever.
I am so disheartened to say that you're just not in style anymore. But you will be, to someone else, in a better place.
You're gonna shred me?
No.
I'm donating you to one of the many clothing donation boxes available on campus. There is one in the Union by the Syndicate and one on Union Circle Drive.
Oh, well, why didn't you just say so? I'm gonna be someone's new shirt.
I thought you'd be more distressed.
Oh, absolutely not. It was cramped in your closet anyways.
Maybe you would like to be shredded after all.
Man, I have all these non-perishable food items, and I don't know what to do with them.
I don't have any food at all.
Do you have too many non-perishable goods?
Yeah.
Have you run out of food and can't get any more?
Yeah.
Well, don't have a cow. Head on down to the UNT Food Pantry. Located behind Crumley Hall and Diamond Eagle Student Resource Center, the Food Pantry is the place for UNT students to get all the food they need. You'll be utterly surprised by all the options they have there. From gluten-free to lactose intolerant, even vegan and vegetarian, they have it all. Go to studentaffairs.unt.edu/food pantry for more information.
Move on down to the UNT Food Pantry.
We're going to be talking about the UNT men's basketball team, a team that's been really good for a long time since Coach Grant McCaslin has gotten here at UNT. Now, right now, they're on an 8-game win streak, looking hot. Here to talk about this win streak, I've got Mark Barrera and Matthew Watson joining me. Now, this win streak has been amazing. We didn't have a slow start to the season, but it wasn't like our other seasons. But this win streak has put us right back on top or close to on top. FAU just half a game ahead of us in the conference standings. Now, for this 8-game win streak, what's been going right? I'll start with you, Matthew.
Well, what I have here, I mean, obviously the three-point shooting. There's only one game against UAB where they went to second overtime, double overtime. So you can expect a little bit of a drop, but I mean, they didn't really shoot. Oh, sorry, that was the wrong game. One game against UTEP where they didn't shoot below 30%. And I mean, if you're shooting the lights out from 3, especially in college, you're down to beat a bunch of other opponents who don't have all those three-point shooters like, your roster has. Like Tyler Perry, great shooter whenever he's on. Huntsberry, good shooter. They just have the intangibles to outshoot you at times, and I think that's what they've done, and that's just been the consistent key to their success in this 8-game win streak.
And piggybacking off of that, Tyler Perry's averaging, well, not averaging, but his percentage from three-point range is 45%.
45.
45,
yeah,
and you're
crazy.
shooting 45% from 3, and that's your best player. I mean, you're bound to win some games, and on top of that, if you look at the schedule that they've had, they're doing really well in crunch time. So when you go to UAB and you go to double overtime and then win in double overtime and then beat was it UTSA or UTEP in OT as well?
OT?
Yeah, I mean, they're playing really well in crunch time as well. So I think that attributes to what they're doing offensively.
Yeah, like you said, Tyler Perry in the crunch time, like the final 5 minutes, I mean, 8 of 11 from 3 in the final 5 minutes. That's clutch. That's what you want from your star guard.
I love some Tyler Perry. It's like we have our own little mini James Harden right here at UNT. All right. Now, we're only half game behind FAU right now. 2 weeks ago, we covered them a little bit. And we were, I think, 3 games behind at that point. We haven't lost since. They've lost 2. We're catching back up. They have 4 games left. We have 3. Do we have a chance of catching them and getting that #1 seed for the tournament? I'll start with you, Mark.
You know, as much as I want to say yes, I don't think we do. I think if we're going to beat FAU, it's going to be in the tournament just because their last 4 games, they played the bottom 3 teams in CUSA, and they took care of them very handily. So I think if UNT is going to want to catch FAU, they're going to have to beat them in the tournament.
They'd have to drop one of those easy games. It's just unlikely.
And they have the tiebreaker against us, too.
They do.
Yeah,
we can't end with the same record.
So,
hopefully not.
Yeah, it's a
Matthew, what do you think? What are our chances?
Well, you know, I think the chances are very slim, right? But I don't think that they're 0 because there's this one team that has been playing everybody pretty tightly, and that's Rice. Rice played them tightly last time they faced off, and Rice also beat UNT, if I'm correct. They're one of UNT's in-conference losses is to Rice. So, you know, watch out for Rice. You know, who would ever say that? But I believe that's their final game of the season, and if they lose against Rice, there's a possibility that they could, you know, kind of be, you know, taken aback in the conference tournament, and possibly I think UNT has a good chance of beating them in the conference tournament. But I would hope that we don't have to face them in the finals.
Yeah, it's looking like we're probably going to be the 1 and the 2 seeds for that conference tournament. Now, as long as we don't drop a game, we'd probably go up against them. How do y'all think our odds are? If we play FAU, how are our chances there if we played them in the tournament?
You know, when we played them earlier, I think they took care of us. So let me look at my notes here. I think they beat us, want to say.
Beat us both times.
Yeah, they beat us both times. I can't remember. I don't have the score right here.
It's all good.
They beat us both times. And I really just think it's going to have to be Tyler Perry being Tyler Perry. I think he's going to have to become that star, that Javion Hamlet status that'll give him above it. I think it's going to have to do that in order to beat
We're going to need that Tyler Perry from last year who's making clutch 3 after 3 in the 4th quarter.
I totally agree. Mark hit the nail on the head. Like whenever they went to the tournament in March, they had Hamlet. I feel like if you're not a Division I team that has all these good players, like FAU's not like the top team, but they're the top team in Conference USA, right? That means that they have at least 2 or 3 guys who are legitimate scorers. UNT really just has Tyler Perry, and you know, Huntsbury can hit a shot every once in a while, but you can't really rely on inconsistency, especially in a conference tournament. So I just think that FAU is the better team, but I wouldn't say it's 0. I think
we have
UNT
the chance
could
to
beat
upset.
them.
Yeah,
we
feeling like we're a little bit behind, but if
Absolutely.
we put our pieces together, play our best game.
You know what? Get him down to clutch time, because that's where UNT has proven that they can play really well. So, you know, if it comes down to clutch time, I think UNT can beat them.
And that's kudos to McCaslin, too. McCaslin is the reason why UNT is
I mean, we've been #1 in defense year after year.
Why.
That dude's a great coach.
He's amazing.
Thank God he's still here.
Right.
Yeah, I was worried he was going to leave
Oh
last
my
year.
gosh, so was I. So was I.
But yet again, another winning season and another game tonight against Charlotte at 6 p.m. Charlotte, one of the middle pack of the tiers in Conference USA. They're 16-11 right now, playing at Charlotte. Now, this is a must-win game if we want to beat FAU. How do y'all feel about this game? Are we winning it?
I think we're winning. I mean, we beat them pretty comfortably, 67-43 last time we played them. And
Absolutely.
I think that's because we started out fast, and that's what they need to do today. They got on an 11-0 run to start the game, and Charlotte only really has 2 players, Bryce Williams and Ali Khalifa, that can get a bucket. So if we slow them down, I think we'll be fine.
Matthew, we're a little short on time. Give me a score prediction for the game. Your favorite player, just real quick.
I'll go 63 to 51, and I will take Abu Osman. Is that how you say his last name?
Abu
Osman?
Usman.
I'll take him with 15 points.
All right. Well, that's all the time we've got. Make sure you watch UNT play tonight at 6 p.m. at Charlotte. Coming up next, we've got the Mavs block. Can Kyrie and Luka finally win a game together?
Oh, hey, didn't see you there. Let's get started. This is a motor vehicle.
This is the blinker mechanism. To use it, push it up for the right blinker and down to go left. You're welcome. It was easy.
It's that time of year where everyone plays a dangerous game with the flu. Going in uneducated, you run the risk of symptoms like cough, migraine, and fatigue. Don't be like this guy. Combat the flu with cough drops, ibuprofen, and a good night's sleep. Be smart, don't catch the flu.
Welcome back again. I'm excited to talk about the Mavs finally getting to see some more of Luka and Kyrie. They haven't won a game together yet, surprisingly. But I'm going to let y'all get more into it. Joining me today, I've got Kendall Keaton and Brandon Brown. Now, it's been about a week since they played their last game. We had the All-Star break over the weekend. Now, that was a lot of fun. They started the season 35-24. Last season, 35-24. Finished at 17-6. So they had a great run to end the season last year. I'm kind of hoping we can have a similar run this year. 31-29 right now. We need some wins. If we get some losses, we're going negative. Can we go on a similar run like we did last year? I'll start with you, Brandon.
Yeah, I very much believe that we can. I've been saying all season we need a big splash trade like this. I thought maybe Russell Westbrook, like he's pretty washed up, maybe give away some bench player for him. But to go all big, go home with Kyrie Irving, we sent over 2 players and a future pick. I think this is a great trade. I think with this kind of trade, a big splash like this doesn't have to be Luka's team anymore. They can kind of split the duties. And with 2 superstars like this, I think it's very possible that we see the Mavs finish out the season strong and make a playoff appearance.
I agree. I said that they can make an even better run as well. Since we lost Jalen Brunson, Spencer Dinwiddie, and Dorian, but I feel like we gained a superstar, and he's better than all 3 of them, in my opinion. So I feel like they could go further in the playoffs this year.
Now, we know that Luke and Kyrie are superstars. They're going to do their thing. They're going to have their big games. We're going to see probably another 50-point game a couple times from Luka here and there. After those 2, this team's depth it's a mix and match. We've got some good players in there. Give me 3 players that you truly believe in that you think need to step up for the Mavs to go on a run. We'll start with you, Kendall. Who are your 3 players?
So I have Josh Green, Christian Wood, and Maxi Kleber. I believe Josh Green, with each starts he's getting like more comfortable on defense, and he's really good with finishing at the rim. And he shoots well from mid-range as well, and when he can shoot a 3, he gets it up and it goes through. He's really explosive on defense as well. Christian Wood, I feel like he's a little bit underutilized, but him coming off the bench, he has that offensive spark as well.
He needs more minutes.
So yeah, I feel like they should start him.
That's all he needs. He's playing great.
Yeah.
It's just when he's on the court, they take him off too much.
Yeah, and then Maxi, I feel like when he gets back, he's fully healthy. He will be a good threat because he's good at protecting the rim. He's kind of undersized, but he causes a fuss in the paint with his defenders.
And he's not playing tonight?
He's not playing tonight.
Gotcha.
I believe
a little bit longer.
Yeah, a little bit longer. He needs a little bit more, but yeah, he's really good at defending and protecting the rim. Sorry.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Brandon.
Yeah, I have to agree with you completely on Christian Wood. In my eyes, he is the 3rd best Mavericks player on this team. He needs more minutes, like both of y'all said. He can be a really nice balanced weapon if utilized correctly. Then, for my money, give me Tim Hardaway Jr. I've really liked what this cat has done all throughout this season. I think he needs a little bit more minutes like Christian Wood. I really like some of his game, his style. He just needs a little bit more improvement, a little bit more time. And then for my 3rd player, give me whoever steps up. I am not in love with really anybody aside from these 4 players with Luka and Kyrie on this team. I don't know if it's a free agent that needs to come in or if it's a player like Josh Green who needs to step up, but I haven't seen enough from the rest of this Mavericks roster to really let me feel comfortable moving forward.
Well, if the player's not on the roster, what player are you looking at that you would like to see from free agency come to this team?
Yeah, Serge Ibaka. He's free. He's ready to go. I've always kind of liked this guy. He's a big guy. Could it help get some rebounds, stuff like that. And then I've always liked DeMarcus Cousins. I think the injury bug has kind of riddled him these past few seasons, but I've always liked his game. I really think if JaVale McGee doesn't step up, he could be a nice center that kind of replaces him there.
Now, you said Tim Hardaway Jr. was a cat. What type of cat would you say Tim Hardaway Jr. is?
You know, right now he's a little house cat, but I think he has the potential to be a saber-toothed tiger.
I was going to say he feels more like a bear because he's been hibernating for a while. But now we got the game tonight against the Spurs at 7:30. Spurs, not so great right now. They're a little bit of a rebuilding team, hoping they get Victor Wembanyama. Spurs, please get that #1 overall pick. Now, will this be the first game that the Mavs win with Luka and Kyrie on the court? Kendall, over to you.
I believe this will be like the first. They will break the losing streak they have going on, and they'll win the game, of course. Because last time they played there in San Antonio, they won by 1 point. Luka dropped 51 points that game, so he shouldn't have to do that. You have Kyrie now, split in half. Should be good.
I agree completely. If I've got money on this game, I'm going Mavs all the way. Spurs on a 14 losing streak. Mavs got this, easy. 118 to 111.
Spurs are definitely about to be on a 15-game losing streak if all goes well for the Mavs. Now, we've got one more segment right after this, a little bit of a mini game. I'm not going to give anything away. Just stay tuned, come back after the break, and find out.
Live from UNT, it's Wheel of Culture.
Welcome back to Wheel of Culture. Our contestant is so close to solving this puzzle. But first, it's time to give the wheel a spin. Wow, you landed on London, one of the many places where you and your fellow students can go on a chance to experience new culture. But only if you can solve this puzzle.
I'd like to solve the puzzle. Study abroad.
That's correct. You just won yourself a trip to study abroad in London, England, and you can too. Just go to studyabroad.unt.edu to see deadlines and apply for scholarships. Get ready to study abroad.
Live from UNT, it's Wheel of Culture.
Welcome back to Wheel of Culture. Our contestant is so close to solving this puzzle. But first, it's time to give the wheel a spin. Wow, you landed on London, one of the many places where you and your fellow students can go on a chance to experience new culture. But only if you can solve this puzzle.
I'd like to solve the puzzle. Study abroad.
That's correct. You just won yourself a trip to study abroad in London, England, and you can too. Just go to studyabroad.unt.edu to see deadlines and apply for scholarships. Get ready to study abroad.
Welcome back. Once again, I'm your host, Brendan O'Donnell. Sadly, this is all we've got left for the day, but I'm really excited to finish it off really strong. Joining me for the little bit of a mini game we've got Jay Lathan and Gabe Ife. Now, I'm excited for this. It's going to be a little bit of an NFL player. Who's that NFL player? I'm not sure if I can legally say the who's that. Now, starting with you, Jay. Any player, no, actually, you've probably got a good order for it. Start with your first player. What player do you have? Tell me a little bit about them. Tell me a little bit about your player and the audience. Y'all guess along. Try to see if you can figure out who this player is as we go on. It's going to start a little obscure.
All right, starting off, this player was a running back in the Super Bowl, and he is a grand champion ranked professional Rocket League player. Grand champion is top 1% of Rocket League players. He signed with the gaming powerhouse Dignitas gaming powerhouse, fairly new. Anybody want to guess this player?
I've got a good guess. Now, I've only made it to Diamond in Rocket League, sadly. I haven't really grinded that game, but who is that player? I don't know.
Got Eagles running back, Boston Scott.
All right. I love it. Boston Scott, one of the best running backs on the Eagles, at least. They got like 3 really good running backs. That's pretty cool, though. That's pretty good e-sport. I like some Rocket League. Y'all play Rocket League?
Very
play
fun.
a little.
You play a little bit? He'd probably smoke y'all.
Probably not. Probably not to that degree.
He would crush me.
Goes out on a Saturday night, pitches a grand game, and then comes out on Sunday juking out grown men.
What a guy. Gabe, over to you. Tell me a little bit about your player.
Yes. So my player has been a quarterback for 2 different teams in the NFL. He has his own hunting show on television. He has his own hunting dog as well. He is from North Dakota. In an article, it was stated that it is a way of life for him. He is a Super Bowl champion, and this one might give it away a little bit, but he currently plays for the Washington Commanders.
I think the North Dakota probably gave it away because there's only one man I know from North Dakota. Who is that player? It's Carson Wentz. Oh, I stole it from you.
My bad.
Wow.
Yes.
Carson Wentz, hunting show. I didn't know that about him. Now,
Yes.
Super Bowl championship, I don't know about that either. He was on IR.
It was a little bit, but he was with them during the season, so we had a little bit of discussion pre-show, and we figured that since he got a ring, we could say that he
Yeah, but he's been team bouncing since.
Yes,
Let's
that
see.
is
I'm
very
more of a
true.
Nick Foles fan myself. All right, Jay.
me too.
Second player. Give me the rundown. Who is that player?
All right. This NFL receiver for the Ravens is a journeyman. In 2016, he missed a voluntary off-season workout to pull an all-nighter at a casino. He was once reported winning $6,700 in a poker match, and he reportedly attends regularly the World Series of Poker.
Dang. Now, I'm not too sure who that player is. I'm intrigued to know. Who is that player?
Our player is Sammy Watkins.
My man, Sammy Watkins. I loved him on the Bills. That was when he was at his best. He
Peak
played
Sammy Watkins.
Packers, Chiefs here and there.
Journeyman.
He had a lot of promise. He's shown some bright
He had that
spots.
top 5
occasionally.
upside that never happened.
Nope.
Yeah, just like the casino. Sometimes you're high, sometimes you're low.
It was the gambling. That's what did it. He gambled. All right. Now over to you, Gabe. Got another player?
Yes, I do. This player is currently a wide receiver for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He grew up around coastal Alabama, loving to fish. He is into bass fishing, and he lives on a lake. He also went to the University of Alabama, has played for 3 teams in his career.
Interesting. Fisherman doesn't help at all. Everything else
It's
might
a
help
little
a little
tricky.
bit.
It's
All
a
right.
little tricky.
Tell me who that player is. Who is that player?
This player is Julio Jones.
Nice. Julio
wow.
Jones, best receiver. Not best receiver of all time. One of the best receivers of all time.
Yes.
Top 5? Top 10?
Top
10. 10 for sure.
Top 5
5
talent.
might be top.
Yes.
Top 5 talent.
Yes, top 5 talent.
I can see that. He's in that like Calvin Johnson thing where, maybe not the longevity, even though it was pretty long, but the talent. Like if you watch him, you're like, that's one of the best who's ever played the game.
For sure.
I'm with you, Jay. Now, Jay, you got one more player for me. Tell me about him. Give me the rundown.
All right. This outside linebacker was a Super Bowl MVP. He owns a chicken farm in DeSoto. This right here, he studied poultry science at the University of Texas A&M. And he said with his new team, he wants to sell wings sourced from his chicken farm.
Interesting. I think from the Texas A&M Super Bowl MVP, I might know who you're talking about.
Big
But
name
tell me
guy.
who it is. Tell me, who is that player?
We got Von Miller.
Dang, Von Miller, the chicken farmer. Maybe it's his fault those egg prices were insane for a while there. Whew. All right, over to you, Gabe. One more player.
Okay, kind of jumping off Texas A&M. My player is a part of a little rivalry that used to happen. It might be reuniting soon, as he was a music major at the University of Texas. Now, he can sing opera now let me look at my notes, in English, Russian, Czech, Latin, Italian, French, German, and Spanish. He played trumpet in high school and taught himself how to play the guitar. And in the 2022 NFL kickoff commercial, he sang opera. He is arguably the best kicker in NFL history and owns the record for the longest kick in NFL history.
I think those last two did it. What a man of many talents. Tell me who that player is.
That player is Justin Tucker.
Awesome. Definitely, I think the greatest kicker of all time.
I would say
It's pretty
so.
easy to say at this point.
Yes.
Without a doubt.
Well, that's all the time that we have for today. Once again, we've got UNT men's basketball playing tonight at 6 p.m., UNT softball playing this weekend, and the Mavs as well at 7:30. Enjoy those games all weekend. We'll be back next week.